Hello and welcome back to Social7Skills. So far, we've focused on our internal world. We used self-awareness to look at our own source code, and we used self-management to debug our emotional reactions and build our self-efficacy. Now it's time to turn our focus outward. Think of it this way. Up until now, we've been playing a single-player game. We've been focused on mastering our own character, but the world is a multiplayer game. To succeed, you have to understand the other players, their motivations, their intentions, and their unique perspectives. Today, we install the third upgrade to our operating system, social awareness. The problem is that most of us walk through our professional lives with a single player mindset. We assume that our reality is the reality. We believe that our intentions are obvious and that other people see the world in the same way that we do. This is a natural human tendency that psychologists sometimes call mind blindness, an unawareness of the mental states of others. This leads to a cascade of problems. We misinterpret a colleague's silence as disagreement when it's really just thoughtful processing. We read an email's tone as aggressive when it was actually just written in a hurry. We make a comment we think is a compliment, but it lands as an insult. These are the moments when a clash of realities occurs because we are failing to see the world from the other person's perspective. When we operate with this blind spot, we miss crucial data, leading to misunderstandings, friction, and damaged relationships. The solution is our third operating system upgrade, social awareness. At its heart is a foundational psychological concept called theory of mind. Theory of mind is the ability to understand that other people have their own minds with their own unique beliefs, desires, intentions, and perspectives that are different from our own. It's the skill that allows us to infer what others are thinking and feeling. Let me give you a classic example used to test this. Imagine I show a child a Band-Aid box and ask her what's inside. She'll say, Band-Aids. But then I open it and reveal that it actually contains a small toy pig. Now imagine she has a friend who is waiting outside. If I ask her what he will think is in the box, a child with a developed theory of mind will say Band-Aids, because they understand that their friend does not have the same information that they do. They can hold a false belief in their mind. This might seem simple, but it's a profound skill in the adult world. The promise of developing your theory of mind is that you can move from assumption to understanding. You'll learn to stop asking, why would they do that? And start asking, what might they be thinking or feeling that would lead them to do that? This skill is the bedrock of empathy and is essential for effective communication, collaboration, and leadership. So, how do we develop our social awareness and strengthen our theory of mind? Here is a 3-step roadmap. Step 1, sharpen your observation skills. Social awareness begins with gathering data, and your primary tool for that is observation. This is more than just looking. It's the practice of being mindfully present and noticing the details around you. Here are 3 fundamental ways to build this skill. First, start consciously observing your environment. We often move through our day on autopilot, filtering out most of what's around us. The practice here is to actively engage your senses. You can start by focusing on one sense at a time. For a few minutes, just focus on what you hear, the hum of the computer, or a distant conversation, or the sound of your own breathing. Then switch to sight. Notice objects, colors, and people you normally overlook. This practice pulls you into the present moment and trains your brain to take in more data. And if you really want to take this skill to the next level, keep a journal of your observations. Second, pay attention to the details. It's easy to get a general impression of a person or a situation, but the real information is in the specifics. You can practice this by picking an object in the room and describing it to yourself with as much detail as possible. Or when you leave a meeting, try to recall specific details. What was your colleague wearing? What was on the whiteboard? Training yourself to notice these small things makes you a more astute observer of bigger social dynamics. And third, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment without judgment. It enhances your ability to focus, regulate your emotions, and reduce stress, all of which are essential for clear observation. Mindfulness is not the same as meditation. I define mindfulness as the process of mentally disengaging myself from my own thoughts and feelings, mentally stepping back and examining them so that I can make an objective evaluation of their truthfulness. Then I can make a clear-headed decision whether or not they need to be challenged and possibly replaced with healthier, more realistic thoughts and feelings. Mindfulness enables me to do two things that are vitally important to my mental well-being. First, it enables me to be more aware of my own thoughts and feelings. And second, it enables me to examine and manage them in a more objective and a healthier manner. This practice strengthens your attention muscle, making you a better observer of your daily life. So, what do these skills look like in action in the workplace? They manifest as other critical social skills. For example, good observation is the foundation of active listening. This is where you pay full attention to both the verbal and nonverbal cues someone is giving you. It allows you to more accurately read body language like posture and facial expressions. This will give you a better sense of a person's emotional state. And good observational skills help you identify patterns in team behavior that others might miss. All of this feeds into critical thinking, allowing you to analyze and evaluate the information you observe to make better decisions. Step 2, learn to read body language. A huge amount of social data is nonverbal. Body language, including posture, gestures, and facial expressions, can offer clues to a person's emotional state. Leaning in might signal engagement, while crossed arms might signal defensiveness. But I need to add a crucial word of caution. These cues are not universal. The meaning of a gesture can vary dramatically across cultures, and you must also consider neurodiversity from one individual to the next. The goal is not to become a mind reader, but to gather clues that prompt you to ask better questions. Step 3, watch out for micro inequities. This is a high-level application of social awareness. Micro inequities are the subtle, often unconscious messages that devalue or exclude another individual. They are the small slights, like consistently interrupting a person in meetings or taking credit for a junior colleague's idea. These actions, often unintentional, stem from unconscious bias. Being socially aware means not only learning to spot them when they happen to others, but also developing the self awareness to notice if we are committing them ourselves. Let's bring all of this back to our case study, Maria. After working on her self management, Maria is now trying to be a more supportive leader. In a team meeting, she notices a junior team member, David, is unusually quiet and avoids eye contact while she's speaking. The old mind-blind Maria might have assumed David is disengaged and doesn't respect my authority. But the new socially aware Maria pauses. She observes his body language, but avoids jumping to a conclusion. She uses her theory of mind to consider other possibilities. Maybe he's an introvert and finds it hard to speak up in a group, or maybe he's stressed about another project. Instead of calling him out, after the meeting, she says to him, David, I noticed you were quiet today. I just wanted to check in and see if you had any thoughts on the project you'd be more comfortable sharing one-on-one. This approach opens the door for real communication, all because she was able to see the situation from a perspective other than her own. Your challenge today is to begin this practice for yourself. In your student notes, you'll find a personal growth plan with a 10-day observation challenge. Your task is to start with day 1, the environment scan. Take 2 minutes today to simply observe your surroundings and notice 3 details you've never paid attention to before. This is the first small step to building a powerful habit of social awareness. Thank you for watching. In our next lesson, we'll learn how to act on this new awareness as we explore our final operating system upgrade: empathy and relationship management. Thank you again for joining me as we consider some of the spiritual implications and applications of our lesson on social awareness. The lesson pointed out that life is like a multiplayer game. To win, we need to understand the other players. The lesson gave us some practical tools for this, developing a theory of mind to understand other people's perspectives, sharpening our observational skills, and learning to read body language. These skills are undeniably useful for effective collaboration and career advancement. But if we only see them as tools to get ahead, we miss their deeper, more transformative power. For me, the practice of social awareness is rooted in a fundamental conviction about the profound worth of every individual. It's not just a strategy for success. It's a discipline for living with integrity and honoring the people we encounter every day. At its heart, social awareness is more than just a skill. It's a discipline. It's a discipline of seeing people not just with our mind, but also with our heart. It's the active and ongoing commitment to look past our initial judgments, our biases, and our self-interest to recognize the profound and intrinsic value in every person we meet. It requires us to believe that the person in front of us is a complex, unique individual with their own story, their own struggles, and their own aspirations. When we adopt this mindset, our motivation for understanding others changes. It's no longer about gathering data for personal gain. It's all about offering the respect of truly trying to see someone as they are. This is the foundation upon which all healthy relationships are built. Our lesson introduces theory of mind as the psychological ability to understand that other people have their own unique thoughts and feelings. But this is more than just a cognitive tool for predicting behavior. It is the very engine of empathy. Empathy is not a passive feeling. It's an active and imaginative effort. It's the choice to step outside of our own experience and our own needs to genuinely try to inhabit another person's perspective. It's the practical application of the universal truth that Jesus taught. Treat others the way we would want to be treated. Without this disciplined effort to understand the mind of another, genuine empathy is impossible, and we are left with mere sympathy or pity. In our fast-paced, distracted world, perhaps the most valuable asset we have to offer another person is our attention. The practical skills of observation taught in this lesson, such as noticing details, reading body language, and mindfully listening, are not just ways to collect information. They are ways to offer the gift of our full and undivided attention. When you set aside your own inner monologue and truly listen to someone, you are communicating something very powerful. You are saying to that person, "You matter to me. What you think and feel are important to me." This act of generous listening is one of the most profound ways we can show respect and build trust. It creates the psychological safety necessary for people to share their best ideas and their authentic selves. Finally, the lesson touches on the topic of micro-inequities. These are small, often unconscious ways we can make others feel devalued or excluded. It can be uncomfortable to confront this, but it is an essential practice in humility. The goal of raising our awareness of social inequities is not to become a fault finder in others, but to recognize that we all have blind spots. We all have the capacity to hurt others through our words and actions. Social awareness, in this sense, is a journey of self-correction. It's about striving to reduce the harm we might be creating in our relationships and to interact with more care, respect, and integrity. Ultimately, the skills of social awareness are tools for more than just winning the game. They are disciplines for building a life of deeper connection, greater empathy, and a more authentic respect for the profound value of every person we are privileged to meet. Thanks again for joining me. In our next lesson, we will dive even more deeply into the topic of empathy and relationship management.